Day 9, back on the trail after my 0 in Ashland at Callahan's. Back on the trail. A road hike for about a half a mile.
Nobody gonna do it for you. Got to find a home.
Friendlies, day 10 on the Pacific Crest Trail, and I am just a couple days from I'm only 10 miles at this point, I think, from my first official resupply point at Green Springs Inn, but I had my unofficial one, of course, at Ashland, where I spent some time. So I'm taking my time today because I have to wait for a shipment from REI. I ordered micro spikes for the Crater Lake area. I'm hearing there's snow, so I wanted to get some micro spikes because I already had a couple hairy situations in small snow patches. So I figured better be safe than sorry. So they're not going to get there till tomorrow, and I only had like 10 miles, so I'm really just kind of taking my time today. Right now I'm looking for my next water source. It was like 6 miles, yeah, I think 5.7 miles from my camp, and it's kind of iffy according to the reviews. So here I am. I think I'm gonna take a break. So this is my water source today. Not much, as you can see. So I went upstream as much as I could. And had to dig this out a little bit just so that I can get my container in it. So that I can fill my container up to fill up my bladder. So I filled up the bladder, and this is what's going to filter my water, because yes, I will definitely filter this. And then I will fill up this as much as I can and take it with me. And then when the bladder is gone, I will refill it with the dirty water. There's another water source about a mile away, but that one's even sketchier and less reliable than this one. And since this one is so low, I'm a little nervous this might be it for me until I get to Green Springs Inn, which is, I think about 8 miles from here. So, that's not, actually, it looks pretty good, right? But let's see if I can fill it. And try to fill it up. What the heck is that? Now that I'm filled up on water, I'm gonna find a place for lunch. I've done over 5 miles already, and I want a place in the shade because it's kind of warm today. And there's 2 more water sources within 2 miles. The second one sounds promising, so I did fill up as much as I could. That bottle would only fill about halfway, so I'm good for a couple miles, and now it's a good time to stop and have lunch. I'm telling you, I have been dry camping on this trip more than I thought I would, and more than I ever have. It's really, I'm surprised how little water there is. I know my hat's funky. It broke. This, oh, I see it's on. I look lovely. Anyway, the string that tightens it down broke. And anyway, long story. So, I'm surprised how little water there is. I hope it gets better as I get up, I don't know, towards Sisters, maybe even Crater Lake. Oh, I think I see a spot for lunch. Oh yeah, that looks nice. I'm thinking over there between those two trees, I can lay out my Tyvek. Ow, 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 ow. I have to watch where I'm going. Yeah, that looks nice. I like to get off the trail. There are so many campsites that the Gut Hooks app recommends that are right on the trail. And that's where most of the people flock. Last night I went up a hill and found a nice spot, beautiful views. Oh shoot, I forgot to get a picture. I keep forgetting to get pictures. Oh, look how beautiful. This is awesome. Yeah. All right. So I get a break from my normal lunch of peanut butter or Larabar. Actually, what I've been eating is, where is it? The Justin's maple almond butter. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I think it might be my favorite. But I've been eating that with crackers or really crushed rice cakes, and I just throw them in the peanut butter and mix it up, and it makes, and spoon it out. Which, by the way, I lost my spoon last night. I lost my spoon. I spent an hour looking around my camp and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I'm gonna have to eat with a stick until I can buy a spoon or get to Green Springs Inn and hopefully pick up a plastic spoon is what I'm hoping. But anyway, Larabars and R-bars and peanut butter and trail mix have been my lunches for the most part. But today I get my higher power raw vegan crackers. These are sunflower seeds, bell peppers, nutritional yeast, lemon juice, chili powder, salt, turmeric, and nori. Nori is seaweed, for those of you who don't know, and it's really good for vegans because it's got essential minerals and stuff like that. And also, where is it? Oh my gosh, I'm loving everything I bought from her. So she, no sponsor or anything. I just happened to stop at her little stand at the farmer's market in Ashland on Tuesday, and this is what's left of the kale chips. But I have to tell you, I bought 2 bags of her kale chips. You know those kale chips that you buy in the grocery store? They're itty bitty bags for $5. Well, I got 2 giant bags for $5. Giant compared to what those are. It's probably 2 or 3 times what you get in the grocery store. And I like them because they're big, and well, they're not anymore because I've been carrying them around with me, but they're clumps of them. So they're nice and hearty, and they've got such good flavor. So definitely when I go through Ashland, I'm going to stock up like for crazy. I'm going to stock up on this stuff. And you can also go on our website, I think she said. So if you are into healthy eating, I think you should try this out. It's so, I mean, it's just so good. So I'm really happy that I've had this the last couple. Oh, I have olives somewhere. Olives. Oh, this doesn't look very good, but it's avocado. I brought avocado with me. So that's my lunch today. I'm going to enjoy it. Look at it. Yum. It's so much better than the stuff you buy in the grocery store. It is really, really good. Hi friendlies from the Pacific Crest Trail. How are things going with you? Guess where? Can you guess what I'm doing? Where I'm at? Probably not. I'm feeling kind of goofy. It's been an interesting trip so far. I will say it's day 11 and my first resupply. And so I am starting off with a heavy pack again, but it's been an interesting few days. I broke my tent pole last night. Luckily, I was only 5.5 miles from my trailhead to get to my resupply and not too far from an REI. So I had an internet signal, so I was able to call a friend, and thank goodness for good friends. And so my friend came and picked me up at the trailhead and drove me 45 minutes back into Medford so I could go to REI. One of the tent poles just snapped right in half. I was tired last night when I was setting it up. I had put one end of the grommets, one end of the tent poles in the wrong grommets, so that it was creating too much tension when I tried putting it together, and then one end of it just snapped. And luckily I was able to use my handy dandy duct tape that I carry on the end of my poles, or on my poles here, to make it work for one night, but it was definitely not a permanent fix. And I was hoping that I could go into REI and just get a section of tent pole and repair it, because the repair would have been really easy. It was actually the one on the end, but no. Medford is a really small REI for one thing. A bigger REI might have them, and I had to buy a whole new tent. So yeah, $279. And the other one, I'd only used it one other night besides the 10 nights that I've been on the trail. But unfortunately I bought it a couple years ago, and it's not a manufacturer defect. And you know, if I were in my normal life, I might have done more to get it repaired, but I'm not. I'm on the trail, and I didn't want to spend 3 days off trail in a hotel. I mean, by the time I had done that, I would have paid for a new tent anyway. So logistically, it didn't make sense for me to fuss with trying to do anything other than buy a new tent. I just wanted to get back on the trail. And so that was my day, driving into Medford, buying a new tent, and picking up my resupply, and reorganizing my backpack to fit another 8 days of food inside. It's been really luxurious having a lighter pack. Green Springs here, Green Springs Inn up here in the other side of Ashland. Really, really hiker friendly, very nice, very accommodating. And I had sent my resupply up here to Green Springs, and while I was in Ashland, the first time, for the trail talk that I was hearing, there's a couple of big sheets of ice at like Devil's Mountain or something, like 30 miles south of Crater Lake. And I'd been getting mixed reviews. Some people say, yeah, it's nothing. Some people say, yeah, you know, it's not nothing. And so I decided to go ahead and order some micro spikes. And these are spikes that attach to the bottom of my boots. There's rubber here, so they fit around really tight. And these spikes here will dig into the snow and help me so that I don't slide off a mountain. And so I had ordered those in a few days ago to meet me here at my resupply. So yeah, how's that for irony, right? I ordered them from REI to be here at my resupply so that I wouldn't have to go into town, and then my tent broke and I had to go into town anyway. So this is just the stuff I'm dealing with on the trail. If I had done shakedown hikes before, a lot of this might have gotten worked out in shakedown hikes, but I'm kind of shaken down as I hike. So it's okay. Full day in town again. But it was okay. I've still gotten about 6 miles in today. And then I had to wait until almost 5 o'clock for UPS to come. My resupply was there. That had gotten there over a week ago. But these, yeah, I had to pay $20 to get them there super fast. And I ended up having to go to REI anyway. Boy, life sure is funny sometimes, isn't it? I'm really enjoying the spot I have right now. A couple deer came by a little while ago and just kind of stared at me funny. And I'm feeling really good and really relaxed. My muscles aren't hurting too much because I didn't do too much hiking today. But tomorrow's going to be another story because I've got a full pack. In addition to the 8 days of food, I have almost, I think these are 11 or 12 ounces of these. I bought a new, where did it go? I had to buy a new spoon. I lost my spoon in one of my camps, and I carry like a little square inch of sponge to wash out my pot. I woke up in the morning and could not find my spoon or the sponge anywhere. I scoured that camp for an hour before I left, and I could not find my spoon anywhere. I don't know if it walked away in the middle of the night. I don't know if a critter got it, but so that was another thing. I was eating with sticks. It was a couple days ago, so I was eating my peanut butter out of a jar with a stick and then my knife, and I'm scared to death of slicing my mouth open with my knife. So that was another reason I had to go to REI today, as well as a new hat. So it wasn't all a bad thing. It wasn't all a waste. And it's almost 7 o'clock and I'm tired. I think I'm just gonna crawl in and relax, maybe go to sleep once I get everything kind of packed up and my everything put away. So a lot of you have been asking how I'm storing my food. Well, PCT hikers sleep with their food. I know it sounds crazy, it really does. And I was like, that's insane. I can't believe you'd sleep with your food. but I wasn't going to carry a bear can again. A bear can weighs like 4 pounds or something, and it's big and bulky, and I was like, okay. So I started looking into an Ursack or a Ursack, and it's like $100. They're this white, I can't remember what they're made out of, but it's this white bag basically that you tie around a tree, and bears aren't supposed to be able to get in it, although there's been mixed reviews. And so I'm looking into buying an Ursack for $100, and I thought, you know, that's what I'll do. But then the Ursack was like, well, if you really want it to work, you need to buy an odor-proof bag. And then if you really, really want it to work, you need to buy this metal barrier. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So what am I spending $100 for? So I decided, you know, if thousands or hundreds of people every year are sleeping with their food on the PCT. The bears aren't aggressive out here. Everybody says the Oregon bears are pretty tame. And if everybody's just sleeping with their food, and Ursack even says, you know, yeah, you know, results are better with an odor-proof bag, I thought, why not just buy an odor-proof bag? So that's what I did. I bought several of these green odor-proof bags. I tested them before I came out. I put garbage in them in my old camp, you know, when I was in my RV in the National Forest. I put some garbage in them and I twisted it up. They come with these special fasteners, tight, and then you put this fastener and it's supposed to give it a really good seal. And that's what I did. I put it outside next to some actual garbage that I put in the fire pit, just like some you know, fruit and vegetable stuff, and the bag did not get touched. So critters didn't get it, critters didn't smell it. The reviews that I saw said that, you know, one guy put like fish in the bag and walked it by his dog, and his dog didn't flinch. So I figure, you know, if your Ursack says go with an odor-proof bag to help deter bears, I thought, why not? You know, why not deal with an odor-proof bag? And so far, I've had no problems with critters or anything coming up to my tent. I was sleeping on it the first few nights, and then I'm like, you know, using my food as a pillow is probably not the smartest thing to do. I was like, if a bear does smell it, I don't think that he should, you know, when he goes for a swipe or a bite, I don't think it should be that close to my head. So now I'm storing it at my feet. I put my backpack down at the end of the tent, and then put the food between my put the food at the end of my feet. So the backpack is the first line of defense, and then the food. So at least if a bear does come sniffing along or swiping, it'll swipe at my feet, not my head. I know a lot of you are going to think I'm crazy, and maybe I am, because I thought the PCT hikers were crazy too. I know. And if everybody jumped off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge? So I know a lot of you are going to have a lot of comments about that and think it's insane, but you know, sometimes you have to weigh the risks with the benefits of stuff, weigh the risks and benefits. And at this point, I feel like it's worth the risk rather than carrying an extra 4 or 5 pounds on my back. So, all right, there goes the van again. This van keeps going up and down the road. Sprinter van. Anyway, all right, so I'm gonna show you around camp. I'm gonna seal my food up for the night, and I think I'm gonna get cozy inside my tent. See you later. Thanks for hanging with me. I'll see you next time from the PCT. In the meantime, be happy, be free, and be kind. Mwah. See you soon. Bye. Hope you're enjoying this, by the way. Are you enjoying hanging out on the PCT with me? Yeah. You get to enjoy it without all the aches and pains. All right, see you soon.